Good morning, folks. Tara here with a Wifey Wake Up No Makeup podcast, where each morning I help you start your day with some inspiration with some marriage tips and dating tips. And you might wonder, how could they be marriage and dating tips? Well, believe it or not, once I say this will make total sense. Whatever you did in your dating life, in your dating relationship, to have this wonderful, blissful start will help you to have a at least wonderful, if not blissful, many years to come. And so I speak from my going on 24 years of marriage, from experience, and have tried all of these tips out, and I'm only sharing the ones that have worked for me. So, first of all, I do no makeup, but I notice my lips are really pale in the morning. And I have this favorite lip gloss lipstick. It's more of a lip gloss by Jane Iredale, which is a clean makeup. And it's really cool because enhances the color already on your lips. But this one is forever pink, so it leaves a pink tone. So I'm gonna see, since my lips are not defined at all in the morning, I'm gonna just see how this develops, because I know it works when I'm doing makeup during the day, and the texture is just wonderful. It's like a chapstick but smoother, and already we're getting some color here. I really like it because I've noticed my color palette. I've done my color analysis on my own, at least, and I'm a light spring, and so I notice lipsticks appear too opaque and just don't really suit me, but glosses work really well. So yeah, we'll see, that already brings out some color. So almost no makeup this morning. I'll show you another trick another day that I love to do with these lip glosses. Okay, that's it for that. So the topic for today is, what do you do when you keep arguing about the same topic? And the challenge in a relationship is the beautiful thing about a relationship, which is it's the two of you. And the challenge is that you can't control how that other person is going to act or react or behave in your conversations. And if you've been together any significant amount of time, let's say even probably a year, and especially if you're living together, you will have found things, at least one topic that you just can't seem to make headway on. You get a certain distance, and then you have the same issue come up. You just can't make progress, can't discuss it. You're arguing, and that obviously isn't helpful. So here's one tip. It may or may not solve the whole issue, but if you keep practicing it, it certainly can. And this tip is to set time limits. And by that, I mean, for example, when I know that it's going to be a difficult topic with my husband, I'll say, can we talk about this for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or if we're in the car, until we get to this location. Not a destination, mind you, where you're meeting friends or colleagues. You don't want to be trying to talk about that difficult subject. But if you put a time limit on it, it can really help to compartmentalize. First of all, compartmentalize the topic. Let me back up a step. Actually, because I'm speaking from the woman's point of view, this is wifey school. When you put a time limit on it, the guy can take a breath. Your man can be like, okay, we're not going to be talking about this for 30 minutes. 10 minutes, I can handle that. And when but you have to stick by it. You cannot, the temptation will to keep going in your old patterns and keep the conversation going until the point where you usually get. And so you have to stick to the time limit and not bring it up again. Like, actually drop it for the rest of the day, and until the next time that you're going to plan on talking about it. That's another thing, is that when you set a time limit, you're actually planning on talking about it as well. It's not an impromptu conversation just when it pops up. So I guess there are two components to that. One is that you're planning to talk about it. It doesn't just pop up how these topics usually do pop up, right? And number two, you're compartmentalizing. Like I put in the description, these are conversations that typically go off the rails, right? But then go right off the cliff. I've had these conversations. So this is a tip. When things are going off the rails, you need to first contain it. And so this is step number one, containing it by scheduling it. In 5 minutes, can we have a 10-minute talk about such and such in the porch, for example? And then, ladies, you really have to stick to the time frame. I'm saying this from experience. The temptation will be to keep going in the same direction you've always gone. You'll end up where you've always ended up, and nobody will be happy. Now, I know it will feel like you didn't get anywhere. You might not actually get anywhere. You might just, that might not be enough time. And that's actually a good indicator if you've set an amount of time that actually doesn't quite feel like enough time. Your objective is not necessarily to solve the problem. It is to just get far enough, or just get into it, get some information. You can talk a little bit, listen, and then leave. And the benefit of that, it might seem, a guy's tendency is to solve problems. He'll want to say, do this, do that. Okay, we're going to do this and do that. And your tendency is to want to, well, I'll say my circumstances. I've always just wanted to get my solution to the problem because that's actually what I wanted, was him to acquiesce to my solution. And when the conversation is broken apart into smaller chunks and to confined pieces of time, this gives you an opportunity to listen to each other by default. And then it confines it. So again, it doesn't go off the rails, but also that when you confine the amount of time that you discuss about the topic, you will naturally also be confined to defaulting to your way of operating in the situation. And it will feel weird, it will feel incomplete, but trust in the process, and don't even schedule another time from that. Just go, thank you, and move on. A simple thank you can do, just for thank you for trying this out with me, for having this conversation with me. And tell you, ladies, he will be amazed. He will be amazed, and he will be more willing the next time you bring up this subject and that you want to talk about it again. And also in a certain amount of time, he will be more willing to participate and more willing to listen to your side as well. And depending on how long this issue has been going on, this may take several tries. He may be very reticent at first. The very important thing is that you stick to the process, and primarily sticking to the time frame, and don't go beyond that, and avoiding getting into your same habits. So let me know how that works for you. I mean, the first one especially can feel weird, but as you go on, like I said, he's more likely to want to participate in these with you again, and you'll eventually get down the road, and you'll be surprised because it may not be what you originally thought would be the solution, or he originally thought would be the solution. But the point is that you are more likely to come to a solution that works for both of you, because you're both participating together, and without being overly offensive, defensive, or just stuck in your ways. And let me know how it goes. Again, fight that urge the first time around to go over and go back in your old habits the first couple of times especially, but this can work wonders. I just used it the other day. That's why I'm sharing. So make sure, if someone came to mind in your relationship, if a friend came to mind, maybe you were talking with a girlfriend just the other day and this topic came up, make sure to share it with her. And like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. I'm here live every morning except for Sundays at 6 a.m. And would love to see you here. But as always, you can catch the recording. Remember, it's the Wifey Wake Up No Makeup podcast. And let's see, how to lip color. Yeah, just a little bit. But I just love this texture, and I'll show you next time, depending on what colors I'm wearing, what I do to enhance this to make a really, really nice color, a different color as well. It's my favorite makeup. So, okay, have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye-bye.